Can you describe a situation where you had to work as part of a team to achieve a result and what your role was in that team?
Mm-hmm. So when in my past co-op, I was working in a team of behavioralists essentially, and we were all looking at different behavioral assays and running our mice through there and seeing the results that we got. And we each had a specific role in running the behavior, then analyzing the behavior, and trying to make sense of what this data was giving us. I was responsible for running the different behaviors, and I had to be very diligent on when they were going to be done so I could pass along that data so they could be analyzed. And I think that taught me to be very accurate with my experiments and to get everything done on time so that my other team members could play their role as well.
Mm-hmm. So Brian, can you describe a time that you were faced with a failure and how you dealt with that failure?
Yes. When I worked at Transamerica for my second co-op, I was on a analyst team, and one of my first big projects that I received there was we had to just take a bunch of data from Excel. Well, my boss wanted a system that we could just take Excel data and kind of nicely export it into pretty tables for some other team to use as part of a bigger project. And I spent about 3 weeks trying to figure out like a process to make this happen for my boss and for the team, except this was like early in my co-op. I didn't totally understand the team or the department or the project that yet, and when I got confused or wasn't sure about something when I was trying to, develop this thing that I made, I didn't really ask anybody, and I was like, I can figure this out myself, which was a bad idea because by the time I was finished, when I thought I was finished with the project, my boss was like, this is not at all what I wanted, or this is not at all follow the guidelines that I kind of gave you in the beginning. And he was pretty annoyed at that. He got over it, but it was while I didn't do the project correctly, it was a pretty good learning experience because I quickly learned that okay, I have 6 other people on my team plus my boss, this wouldn't have taken much of their time to just ask them questions throughout this. I'm the new person, I should be asking questions rather than trying to figure this out on my own and then wasting 3 weeks of everyone's time.
That is. Can you describe an instance when you had to think on your feet and get yourself out of a difficult situation?
Yeah. Recently my supervisor at work was gone for a few days to a conference and was kind of on my own. Usually when I come into problems with an experiment or something, I'll go to him and he'll guide me. But I ran into a problem, a computational programming problem with one of my experiments, and he wasn't available to be there for me, so I had to be resourceful and use the internet, and I asked another member in the lab to help me out and really solve the problem kind of on my own. Mm-hmm. It was tough to do, but I was resourceful and I managed to figure it out.
Mm-hmm. So what lesson have you learned from that going forward?
I guess that I can achieve more than I guess I thought that I could. I don't need to rely on my supervisor at all times, and I can be autonomous and resourceful and really solve problems on my own.
Yeah, excellent.